everyone, I hope you guys are having a wonderful start to your day. I wanted to hop on and share a spiritual dream from one of the followers of JSM. She's actually been in leadership, helping me with the ministry stuff behind the scenes. So I trust her voice and her walk with God tremendously. And she gave me a call today and she said, Jill, I had a dream and it just is really standing out to me, but she was like, I have no idea what it means. And she told it to me and I was like, that is for sure a spiritual dream and it's a corporate spiritual dream. Do you mind if I share? And she said, no, please go right ahead. So thank you to Dawn for sharing this dream. And I want to tell you guys what the dream is first and then the interpretation of the dream. And it aligns with what God has showed me in the past. And I'll show you guys how it aligns into a previous dream that I've had. And it's a warning dream. I think that's showing us what we need to pray against and possibly what's up ahead. Okay. So in this dream, in real life, Dawn, this lady who had the dream, is the owner of a business. Okay. Her and her spouse are business owners. All right. And in the dream, she was, I think, and she can correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but she was at her place of business and was looking outside and there was a cyber truck that was going along, and getting close to their business. And it was hauling another cyber vehicle. She knew that in the dream. And it kind of almost looks like a combination of an RV/boat kind of a look. But the cyber part, it was consistent between both things, the cyber truck and the additional vehicle that it was hauling. And what's interesting about this is the additional camper vehicle boat thing, whatever it was, had a bunch of people inside of it. Okay. Not just a few, but a bunch. And they all had kind of a blend of a Mexican/Asian descent to the individuals who were in the back of this vehicle. Okay. And so it pulls up and then one of these people of the Mexican and Asian descent, kind of, it looked like a combo of both, she said, came into her place of business where they were small business owners and started messing with her computer. And she walked in there because he didn't have permission. It was their business, right? And he just walked up and made himself at home, She came in and called him out and she was like, can I help you, sir? Like she was just like, hello, you can't do this. And he turned around and he looked and he was like, no, you can't help me. And just, continued about his business. And then she woke up and she was like, Jill, what do you think that means? And I was like, I know exactly what that means because God was kind of giving me the play-by-play as she described this. So I think that this spiritual dream is referencing that we need to be praying against widespread cyber attacks in the future. And I want to talk to you guys through the symbolism of this. They own this particular business. I think it was potentially winking that they personally would be impacted by these cyber attacks. But the fact that there were a bunch of people in the back of that camper thing represents it's not just them that are being potentially impacted by this, but that it's a more widespread attack that we need to be praying against. I think the significance of the Mexican/Asian looking descent could be significant of the ethnicity of the types of people who are going to be behind the attack. So Asian descent, possibly Mexican, getting worked into the mix. The thing of them coming into her personal business and messing with the computer is very symbolic of the cyber attacks, in the personal impact. But I think what's also interesting is the thing that was hauling them was a cyber truck, right? And the vehicle that was hauling people in this boat/camper mix weird situation in the dream was also a cyber vehicle of some sort. And so the name of cyber is a wink at cyber attacks, furthermore confirmed by the guy that went into the computer. And the other thing is she went in there and she was like, can I help you? I think that represents exposure in this stuff being called out into the light, and also the stubbornness of the enemy when he looked right back at her and he was like, no, I'm gonna do what I want, and kept going about whatever he was doing. So we need to take authority over this stuff, right? And to pray against these widespread cyber attacks. So I thought that was a really, really cool dream. She gave me permission to share. Thank you, Dawn, for putting this on our radar. This also lines up with other dreams that I've had. If you guys remember the bad haircut dream where the financial collapse and hardship was coming, God showed me that there were going to be various cyber attacks and blackouts. I mean, as you guys know, I have told you and shown you that we have already seen some of that. But I think that there could also be a very real link with these cyber attacks that God keeps bringing up and emphasizing right now. And her dream, I think, was a corporate dream. Yes, it was potentially a warning that things could impact her personally, but it was definitely corporate because there were multiple people in the back of that cyber vehicle that were getting out and that were behind these attacks. So let's just keep prayed up. If you guys wouldn't mind joining with us in a place of prayer, praying against these cyber attacks, pray protection over your home, over your region, over our country, and I will chat with you guys again soon. Have a great day.